You never know what someone is going through.
Incredible talent and millions of fans are only a small part of Ariana Grande's life. Behind the scenes, this woman's had to cope with huge drama in her family, a concert tragedy, and the passing of her beloved. Let's talk about this brave singer who managed to overcome major misfortunes in her life.
You try not to give in to fear because obviously that's the whole point of being here.
She's clearly sick. Ariana Grande is one of the most followed people on social media. Of course, it's a great platform for promoting her music, beauty brand, and upcoming movie. Unfortunately, it's also where Ariana receives tons of hate. Recently, netizens started a huge body-shaming campaign against her. After the singer slimmed down, naysayers labeled her anorexic and sick. Some people even made hurtful assumptions. She's on crack. Do you have cancer? Unfortunately, this isn't the first time Ari's had to deal with criticism. Since the beginning of her career, people have regularly mocked Grande's appearance. She got tons of unpleasant comments about her signature hairstyle. The singer seemed to get so annoyed by trolls that she finally responded to one of them. "I'm sick of that ponytail." I'm not. Naysayers also accused her of blackfishing because her skin tone changed. And a lot of people don't like her tattoos and call them ugly. There's been so much buzz around Ari's body that she had to defend herself.
There are many different kinds of beautiful. There are many different ways to look healthy and beautiful.
So, what was the breaking point for Ari? When critics started comparing her to her old self and begged her to return to looking like that.
The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body. I was on a lot of antidepressants and drinking on them and eating poorly and at the lowest points of my life.
Actually, only diehard fans are aware of all the hardships the singer has overcome, and it all started in her childhood. Never-ending panic attacks. Ari wasn't raised in a happy family. Her parents seemingly have never gotten along well. When she was just 8, they divorced. Edward and Joan weren't able to end things amicably. Allegedly, Ari's father began stalking his family. Once he scared them, showing up at the house suddenly and causing a scandal. And it wasn't just the once that little Grande didn't feel safe around her dad. It definitely affected Ariana's mental health. Her childhood was filled with anxiety.
I had basically this really long, it felt like a panic attack that never ended.
It got so bad that she needed professional help. And Ari recalls this time as really stressful.
Well, I've been in therapy since I was little because my parents got divorced when I was 8. I didn't really like it at all. I was just like, this is stupid.
To make matters worse, Ari's father didn't care about her state. The only sources of support for Ariana in her hard time were her mother and Nana. The singer got all the love she needed from these strong women. Nana supported Grande at her shows and awards from the beginning of her career. And Ari's mother cheered her on in her first red carpet appearances. As time passed, the hitmaker also managed to mend ties with her father. Now they celebrate holidays together as a united family. Both of Grande's parents were there for her at the 2020 Grammys ceremony. However, their bond wasn't restored overnight, and they had to work through some pretty huge hurdles to get to the place they're at now. Ari never served details, but she labeled it one of the toughest things in her life. Sadly, the singer had to go through another painful ordeal with people she calls her online family, her fans. I can't sing those songs again. Ariana always says that her live concerts are the biggest joy for her, as she gets love and admiration from her fans. However, one performance ended tragically. In 2017, the Manchester Arena, where she performed, was bombed. An explosion took the lives of dozens of people, right in front of the singer, and 1,000 more were left with injuries. This moment turned Ari's world upside down. She faced serious post-traumatic stress disorder, and the symptoms were so strong that they caused changes in her brain. Ari called the results of a checkup terrifying. It's hard to imagine how much she suffered. The singer shared that at some point, she thought she'd never be able to perform again.
I went right home. I went to Florida, and I was like, I can't. I was like, I'm not putting those costumes on again. I can't sing those songs again.
You were done.
I was like, I can't. I was like, I love y'all. I can't do it. I was like, there's no way.
However, Ariana couldn't stop thinking about her fans who lost their health lives, or loved ones during that infamous show. She wanted to show support to them and their families. So she worked up her courage and did a charity show in the same Manchester arena that had been bombed 2 weeks earlier.
We just have to, be there for each other as much as we can, because you never fucking know, So, I just wanted to do something to make people feel good.
Soon after, she had to continue her European tour, but it wasn't easy for her.
The truth is that it's fucking scary. It's scary going anywhere, and you look at places differently.
Ariana had to deal with the effects of that tragedy for a long time. Her anxiety and panic attacks came back. Even therapy barely helped her. Ari said, though, that the messages of love from fans and the support of her closest ones would slowly heal her heart. Sadly, a year after the Manchester attack, Ari had to experience one more tragedy: the loss of her loved one. A heart broken into 100 pieces. Ari shared that one of the most important people in her life was rapper Mac Miller. They got to know each other in 2012 through a collaboration, but the musicians shared they'd established a connection years earlier. We have loved, adored, and respected each other since the beginning, since before we even met, just because we were fans of each other's talents. Back then, the two shared a kiss in the music video, so relationship rumors swirled. But Ari denied it in a hilarious way.
It doesn't mean I'm now
getting married to Mac Miller.
No. Yeah, but no, he's one of my best friends, so it was fine.
The two were close friends for more than 4 years. During that time, Grande had a string of short-lived romances.
Relationship at the time, things were up and down and on and off, and so, it's real shit to me.
Maybe it was because she truly loved only Mac Miller? Ari never said it, but when they started dating, Grande seemed overjoyed. However, there was one obstacle in that relationship: Mac's issues with illegal substances. It was constantly getting the rapper into trouble. He went missing for days, and a few times even ended up in hospital. This behavior drove Ariana crazy. As a devoted girlfriend, she did everything possible to help Mac get clean, but it was all in vain. The substances ate Miller's mind. As time passed, their relationship became toxic. After 2 years together, Ari had no choice but to end things. That breakup brought her a lot of pain. Naysayers only added fuel to the fire. They accused the singer of dumping her man when he needed help. The pressure was so intense that Ari had to explain her choice. "I'm not a babysitter or a mother. I didn't share how hard and scary it was. I've cared for him and tried to support his sobriety and prayed for his balance for years, and always will, of course." A few months later, the singer tried to move on from the painful experience. She started a relationship with comedian Pete Davidson. The couple got engaged just weeks later, and Ari was happily talking about the wedding. However, some tragic news put an end to her plans. Mac Miller had passed away. Ariana was shattered to the core. "I adored you from the day I met you when I was 19, and I always will. I can't believe you aren't here anymore. I really can't wrap my head around it."
It makes me happy.
She seemed to realize that the only person she really loved was Mac Miller, so she called off her engagement to Pete. Even though right at that time Ari conquered new peaks in the music world, she was at her lowest mentally.
That this has been one of the best years of my career and the worst of my life.
Grande shared that her craft was her only solace in that dark time. So she kept creating music and exchanging musical hugs with her fans. More than a year later, Ariana opened her heart to a new relationship. She started dating real estate agent Dalton Gomez. Ari shared that he's a very special man. After a year of dating, they got engaged, and soon after, they tied the knot. This May, the couple celebrates their 2-year anniversary, and their chemistry has only grown stronger. Moreover, Dalton even gives her ideas for her art.
We were in the car driving home, and Dalton just turned to me and was like, "What if you were the president?" And I was like, "You're perfect."
Fans hope that Ari's in a happy place now, free from mental struggles and suffering. After being in the spotlight for such a long time, she's learned not to take all the criticism to heart. And that's something we should all learn too. Do you want to know the details about other celebrities? Check out our videos, and don't forget to stay awesome.